Hi, today in Vacuum Cleaner Advisor we're going to take a look at the new Dyson DC65 Animal. This is Dyson's latest full-size upright. It's a replacement for the DC41 Animal. In the Dyson stable of uprights today you've got the DC50, which is a compact upright. You've got the DC40, which is a mid-size, and then this unit, which is the full-size. In our review today we're going to take a look at some of the vacuum features. We're going to look at some of the specifications and also run the machine through some cleaning tests. But first, what do you get when you buy your Dyson DC65? What's in the box? We've taken all the parts out of the box and put this together. It's fairly simple to put together. Essentially you've got your dust canister, you've got the floor nozzle. That's a little tricky to put on, but still not that difficult. You've got the wand assembly, a little tool caddy here. It all goes together fairly easily. In the box there's also 4 tools. You've got the floor tool, or the stair tool, combination dusting brush and crevice tool, this tangle-free turbine tool, which looks quite interesting, and a fairly large and soft dusting brush. In addition, there's a little booklet on the story of Dyson, if that's of interest, quick start guide, warranty card, and the operating manual. On the front of the vacuum, just below the handle, you have the on-off power switch. And there's also the brush bar on-off, which turns the brush bar on or off in the main vacuum nozzle. A little lower, this is the release for the dust canister. Works very simply, and it clips back into place very easily as well. Around the back of the vacuum, we have the release for the power cord. You just turn this either left or right, and the power cord comes off the back quite easily. Around here on the side we see the tool caddy, and it has the combo tool in it as well as the stair tool attached. And then you have Dyson's ball technology, which really helps the machine when you're maneuvering and turning. And I'll give that a try now. Now the key here is that you can turn the nozzle of the vacuum just by twisting your wrist, which makes it quite a bit easier when you're actually vacuuming. I don't have the machine on right now, but it really does help. One of the tricky things about this vacuum is getting it to stay in the upright position. When you begin vacuuming, you pull the handle back, you'll notice the back wheels will come up, retract, and you go ahead and vacuum. When you finish vacuuming, you lift the handle back up, the wheels will come back down, click into place, and if you let the handle go here, it falls down. What you have to do is lift the handle up, let the wheels come down, click into place, and then push the whole vacuum forward until you hear an audible click. That's it right there. Then you can let the handle go and it stays in the upright position. Now we're going to see how well the vacuum performs on a very fine powder on carpet. We've actually sprinkled some flour down here. I have to say that's a pretty convincing job. Now we're going to see how the vacuum performs on some larger material. We've got some caraway seeds in addition to a bunch of Fruit Loops, which for some reason seem to be the industry standard now when you're testing vacuum cleaners. We're going to turn the brush bar on, of course, like we did the last time. Anytime we're on the carpet we generally have the brush bar on. So let's give this a try. it did a fairly good job. What you can't see is it did pull some of the Cheerios back, and they're off the screen right now. Had a hard time getting them picked up, but most everything in front of the machine got picked up fairly well, including the finer seeds. Now we're going to try the vacuum on some ground-in pet hair. This is fine white pet hair. We've ground it in with our hands, we've jumped up and down it with our shoes, and ground it in as best we could. Let's see what this thing can do. Yeah, it handled that fairly well. Now how about edge cleaning? A lot of machines do not perform particularly well when cleaning up tight against the baseboards. Okay, I can tell you that's an excellent result. This thing cleans right up tight against the baseboards. Now a couple of bare floor tests. Here we've got some fine seeds on the bare floor, and we'll be doing this with the brush bar off. That doesn't really require more than one pass. The machine does have a tremendous amount of suction, no problem with fine seeds. Now again with the brush bar off, let's see how we do on the larger material. Well, it does okay, but I think the issue here is that that self-adjusting base plate doesn't go up high enough to let this stuff underneath. We did mention previously that the nozzle has an active base plate, and we've removed it, and we'll show you that now. So, you can see here on the side, this accordion-like device. That's the active base plate. It goes up and down. You can see it across the front, same thing. Indeed, the whole underside. Now, this is really useful when you are traveling between carpet and bare floors. This thing goes up and down. You don't need manual height control. It actually adjusts itself automatically. In addition, it doesn't allow suction to escape around the perimeter of the nozzle. It focuses it all on the floor. But as we did see in that last test, the front can be a little low, and larger materials like some of those Cheerios were bouncing off and not getting underneath the nozzle. Now we're going to take a look at the hose length on the vacuum. We've got a tape measure stretched out here. We've got the hose with the wand extended and the combo tool on the end. Literature for the vacuum indicates it's got a 51.7 foot cleaning reach. We know it's got a 35-foot power cord. That tells us we should be able to get about 16.7 feet out of this. So as we stretch this along the measuring tape to a point where that vacuum is just ready to tip over, we get ourselves about 14 feet 8 or 9 inches, and that falls a couple of feet short. It is likely, however, that over time the hose will stretch out some. How much, we don't know. As mentioned previously, the vacuum comes with 4 tools. There's the combination tool, which is a combination dusting brush and crevice tool. There's the larger soft dusting brush. There's the stair tool. And then there's the tangle-free turbine tool. Now, the good thing about the tools is they all click fit into place. You can hear that click. These are not friction fit, and that means they won't come out. To take them out, you simply press down and they pop off. Now this is a pretty neat looking tool. We're going to try it now on some string. We've got a rubber band, some twine, some dental floss, some thread, and see how it is at actually picking this kind of thing up. Well, it didn't get everything. Some of this stuff got tangled in here. So, wow. Worked okay on some stuff, but not too well on others. Now, we've tried this tool previously on some larger stuff, like this kind of thing, and that was a total failure. Typically, it seems, if you're drawing in, one or two pieces at a time, it's just fine. If you get a real tangled up mess and go over it, or anything of any kind of thickness, you're going to run into some problems. Emptying the dust canister in the vacuum is pretty straightforward. There's a red button on the top near the handle. You depress that, dust canister comes off the machine. Same red button, if you press on it, releases the bottom hatch. Now you've got to kind of shake it out a little bit. Get all the garbage out. Click it back into place, and then you can take that and fit it right back on there, the unit. The vacuum has two filters. There's one in the top of the dust canister and one down here in the ball mechanism. They're both washable and they're fairly easy to get to. To get to this one, you disconnect the canister, and there's a little kind of clip at the end of the handle. Pull it out, top pops off, and there's your filter. It's washable under a tap, and when it's completely dry, typically after about 24 hours or so, you can put it back in. Dyson mentioned that you should probably be washing these filters about every 3 months or so. And that, of course, depends on the amount of vacuuming you do. If you do a whole lot of vacuuming, you might want to check them a little earlier. Now, the other one I mentioned is in the ball mechanism. I'm going to see if I can show you that. In this case, you just have to rotate this blue cap. You're essentially unscrewing it. Just keep going around. Now this whole side of the ball mechanism comes off. Voila, there's the other filter. See, there's two little arrows here that line up. You turn the filter counterclockwise, it comes out. And on the other side of this, there's actually some instructions that show washing it, tapping the water out of it, drying it, and clicking it back into place. And put it back in, put it down, and then twist it clockwise to get the little arrows to line up. Then the trick sometimes is to get this cap back on. There we go, I think I got that. And you just turn this until it stops. So I don't need to crank it too tight, I don't think. That's it. Vacuum's still rotating, and you're done. So what did we like about this vacuum? The DC65 is a very powerful upright, and it does a solid job of removing dirt and debris from both carpet and bare floors. We've run this around the house a fair bit and over some pretty dirty carpet, and it really digs in and cleans. The active base plate is a nice feature, so you don't have to change the nozzle height when you move from carpet to bare floors and back. The machine is also excellent at edge cleaning, as we saw, and did a great job of getting up tight against the baseboards. The tools click fit into place, which is better than the friction fit. The vacuum reach is in the neighborhood of 50 feet with the power cord and the hose and wand. The hose and wand themselves are long enough that you can clean up high or do a short flight of stairs. The ball technology is a nice feature. You can turn the nozzle head just by twisting your wrist. The dust canister is easy to empty. It's fairly large at about 0.55 gallons. The filters are washable, both washable, and easy to access. And the machine carries a respectably long 5-year warranty. So there's some pretty positive features of the vacuum. Now, where did we see some room for improvement? And we did find that the active base plate actually got in the way of some larger debris. Some things, like the Cheerios, as you saw in the video, couldn't get under the plate and sucked up. We gave the turbine tool a pretty aggressive challenge, and it performed fairly average. Now, I'm not sure you'd be trying to suck up a lot of those kind of materials typically, and we've been told by a number of folks that the tool does work really well on long pet hair, for example. One of the things we did find a little annoying after a while was having to push the vacuum forward to get it to click into stand-up mode. Now, you can't hear that click very easily when the vacuum's running, and so you're sometimes guessing if it happened. And when you let it go, you're not sure if the vacuum's going to stay upright or fall backwards. The machine's also a bit heavy. This is not a lightweight upright. It weighs 17.4 pounds. And it's a little expensive. At this time, we're seeing it anywhere between about $530 US and $600 US. All in all, this is a good machine. It's powerful with tremendous cleaning ability, but it's a bit heavy and it has a few quirks. Thanks a lot for watching.